The Nintendo Switch 2 is coming soon. Might be next week, might be next month, might be the beginning of next year, but we know they're gonna at least tell us about this thing for March of next year. It's coming. We have some things we gotta do. I've got 5 things we're gonna talk about today. Things that you need to do to get ready for the Switch 2. What's up, guys? Welcome back or welcome in for the first time. Do me a favor, jump down in the description of this video real quick. There's a link there to our podcast channel. We do a podcast over there every Wednesday night live. If you miss it there, you can check it out on the podcast platform of your choice. On your way back up, make sure you're subscribed to this channel. A lot of people think they are, and they're not. And before we get into this video, I do need to tell you about the sponsor of today's video, MobiPad. They make the M6 HD Joy-Cons, which are my favorite. These are the Joy-Cons I use every single day I play my Switch. They come in white, they come in black, they come in pink. They have different face plates that come off. They're magnetized, so you can mix and match. You can buy different colors of those. They have a Pro Controller. They have a dock. They have everything you need. They've got deals on all this stuff on their website. You need to go check that out. You can get a deal right now where you can get a set of Joy-Cons, an extra set of face plates, and the case that holds the Nintendo Switch with these Joy-Cons on it, all for a very good price. You can get their version of the Pro Controller and their dock for a very good price. You need to go check that out on their website. The link will be below. Also, linked down below will be their Facebook. Make sure you go check them out over there. And thank you to MobiPad for sponsoring this video. Okay, the first thing I'm going to tell you guys you probably need to do before the Switch 2 comes out, before the Switch stops being sold. We talked about this in a full video. I'll link that at the end if you want to check out more information on that. But you need to probably go buy the special edition Switches that you want now before they go up in price. These things are definitely going to go up in price. Right now, you can get them basically for retail. Some of them, the Pokemon one, the Let's Go Eevee, Let's Go Pikachu, and that one's pretty expensive. The rest of them you can basically get for regular price right now. So if you want to do that, now's definitely the time. The Pro Controllers are still kind of hard to get. You can get some of them still. Some of the Joy-Cons are still available. But if you want this stuff, now's definitely the time. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on that. As I said, there's a whole other video that'll be linked at the end if you want to hear more about that stuff. But on the opposite side of that, kind of the same exact thing, but the opposite, you need to sell your stuff. If you don't want it, if you're not a collector, if you're not somebody who's going to be hanging on to this stuff to store it away and keep it forever, you're going to want to get rid of some of this stuff, especially the Joy-Cons is one thing I think you're probably going to want to get rid of, because unless you are somebody who likes to use the Joy-Cons in the grip as a controller, chances are with this new Switch, you're not going to be able to use those Joy-Cons on the sides of the Switch anymore. We don't know that for certain, but there have been some reports saying that the new Switch is going to have a different rail system completely. It might be magnetized. So there's a good chance that these Joy-Cons are not going to work. I would say the Pro Controllers and things like that, those are probably going to be fine. They'll probably work with the next Switch. Joy-Cons especially, that's one thing you definitely need to sell now. Get rid of on Facebook Marketplace, eBay, really anywhere you can get rid of them. Now's the time, because again, we don't know when this thing's going to be announced, and as soon as we see that the next one won't use these things, they're probably going to go down in value, especially if they're just the regular red and blue or gray or white, or they're not any type of special edition or a different color that didn't come with the Switch. You really need to probably try to get rid of those right now. Another thing I'm guessing that's probably not going to be compatible with the new Switch, maybe, but probably not, is the dock. If you got extra docks in different rooms, and maybe you're not using them as much anymore, because I mean, there really isn't all that much to play on the Switch, unless you have the problem that we're going to talk about next, you may want to start getting rid of some of those docks too. You can sell those again. Facebook Marketplace is a great place to do this. It's way easier than putting it on eBay. There's no fees, obviously, because you're meeting the people. Obviously, be very careful with that. Meet in a public place. You're going to be able to find people local that will take the docks, especially if you're selling them for a decent price. They're just docks. These Joy-Cons, if you want to get something out of them, price them fair, they'll go. But definitely take a look through all your stuff right now. Start looking through there, seeing the things that maybe you're not going to be using when the new Switch comes out, things that might not be compatible. Set those aside, start listing that stuff, get rid of it. Now, the third thing you really want to probably do before the Switch 2 comes out, even though we have heard lots of reports that this thing's going to be backwards compatible, it's going to play Switch games, you're going to be able to take your library over, you probably are going to want to start going through some of that backlog. If you're like me, you've probably got a lot of games that you've bought either on eShop sales, or if you're a physical collector, you probably went out and got it Black Friday, never even opened it, just sat it on the shelf. Now's probably the time to go ahead and play some of those games, especially right now where we're waiting on the new Zelda game. Mario Party's not out yet. there's not a whole lot of new stuff to play on the Switch. So right now is a great time to start going through that back catalog, because once the Switch 2 comes out, I mean, that's the whole reason they kind of delayed this thing out a little further in, because they want to make sure they have the software for launch. So we're going to have lots of new games to play, so don't let that backlog sit there anymore. Get on that. I should probably take my own advice with that, but you need to do it. You guys make sure you get your backlogs taken care of. Don't let those games sit there. Play them now while you have the time. And this is another thing I talked about in the last video where I was talking about buying things, but you probably need to start looking out for the games that you want to buy physically for the Nintendo Switch, or even digitally, however you want to get them, but physically especially, because there's a lot of these games that are already completely out of print. Metroid Dread is one of them. Link's Awakening is another one. There's a lot of Nintendo Switch games, first-party stuff, that's completely out of print you're not going to be able to get. So I would say right now is a pretty good time to start doing that, but if you want to wait a little longer, I really think during the holiday season, a lot of these Nintendo Switch games are going to go on sale at like Best Buy, Target, and they're probably going to be on sale better than they were in years prior, especially if the Switch 2 gets announced before that, October maybe, if they talk about it in October. The Black Friday sales may be crazy, because these stores are not going to want to just keep the stock of these old games. They're going to discount them. They're going to try to get them out the door. Holiday time's the best time to do that, so make sure you're looking out for that. The last thing you need to do to get ready for the Nintendo Switch 2 is just save some money. Selling some of this stuff is going to get you a lot of the money you need to make sure you have it to, whether pre-order the system or go pick it up on launch day. But I would say we're probably looking at a console that's going to be at least $400 this time. I mean, we just got the PlayStation 5 Pro. That's $700, $800 if you want a disc drive with it. I don't think we're going to be in that territory, but I do think this is going to be a $400 system at least. And there are new rumors, they're not really new, but they're coming back up, that there may be 2 SKUs, so we may have 2 different price points, or maybe a more expensive one too, or maybe a cheaper one. We'll have to wait and see. But this is it. We're in the home stretch now. The Switch 2 is on the horizon. We're gonna see this thing very, very soon. I'm excited. I'm getting ready. Let me know down in the comments what you're doing to get ready for the Switch 2. If there's something I missed, something people should be thinking about doing now, leave it down there so everybody knows. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please leave a like. Make sure you are subscribed. See you in the next one.